one another in regionals this year, North American the North American Championships. Yeah, the North American World Championships. No, just the North American Championships. And Kappa and Balance, of course, have always been very high-rated players, multiple rank 1 titles and whatnot. Balance representing one of those very few high-rated Windwalker monks. Got to represent the Windwalker monks. So check them out, but also follow Absurge, Walter Bear, Jellybeans, and Dota on Twitter as well. These guys stream all the time, and they're such good players. Make sure to follow them up on that Twitter if you want to see some gameplay from their point of view. Absurge, one of the best Resto Shamans in North America. Walter Bear, one of the best Feral Druids in North America. Jellybeans, of course, one of the very few hunters in North America, and the only hunter, or one of the only hunters to compete at North American Regionals. And Dota, you guys all know who Dota is. He is the one and only Warlock. He's quite good. And there we have it. That's the team of Splyce.
I don't know, man. I hope Absurge uses Hex. I mean, that's definitely really important for him.
It's really, really important that he presses that Hex button. I mean, even if they all have, like, their interrupts available to him, he's at 30% health, and he really needs to press that Hex button. It's, like, imperative, so... Well, we're going to have to see what Carlos pulls it out. I can't wait to see.
That's the rest of Shaman, right? Everyone knows that's the key to play a Shaman. You got to get good Hexes.
I think that's one thing to note, man. Going into this matchup, we have Cleave teams coming out from Donut, and we have a blue on the team of Splyce. Right away, Splyce is already disadvantaged. I mean, that blue is just... It's just so vulnerable to the damage.
He is, but I think Absurge is used to... I mean, eventually, do you think he just gets numb to it?
Yeah, he's just...
I mean, like, how many times
dude, yeah,
he attacks to the point where you're just like, yeah, alright.
Like, how many times do you heal yourself to full with that Shaman Mastery heal at, like, 5% healthier and just, like, you know, just, like, shrug it off. It's like, whatever. But here we go. It's game number 1, Splyce versus Donut. And like you said, we have Foxy, Jeff, and Kipo representing Donut. Yay, my Jeff thing worked. I'm glad. But here we go.
All right. I think compositionally that's smart to have Foxy. They're going to be able to deal with the roots pretty well with him able to shapeshift. That means that Kappa can keep all of his freedoms on Jeff, labeled Satama. I don't even know. Maybe that's
I have it just for Jeff, so if you want to call it just the DK Jeff, that's fine with me.
Jeff's transmog is kind of peculiar.
I'm a pretty big fan of Jeff's transmog. I mean, he doesn't look like a Deathknight. He kind of looks like a paladin.
Kind of bald.
He's very bald. He's a very bald and handsome man. But here we go. The gates are about to open. It's Donut versus Splyce. Alright, Jeff moving forward, trying to get them out of stealth. Jellybeans right away is just going to slow up Jeff, as Jeff wants to connect onto the blue right away, man. Jeff's taking a bit of pressure, dipping down to 75% health here. Kipo going to go ahead and hand a sacrifice Jeff here to try to avoid some Jellybeans traps. It looks like they're not going to trap just yet. He's going to be put into that bash in the hand of sacrifice and then put into the full clone from Walter Bear. And Abster taking a whole bunch of damage from just Jeff. But Foxy in a lot of trouble. He has that wall up and available to him, but that incarnation coming down from Walter Bear is just doing work onto him. Foxy going to get another stealth and switch over on to Absterge with Jeff in that full hodge, dipping him down to 50% health here. Even the denounce is coming out from Kipo. The silence now onto Absterge is going to force that Stonewall Dwarf racial and the Link as well. Now Jellybeans and Walter Bear taking a whole bunch of pressure from that Spirit Link as Foxy and Jeff just swap it right over onto Jellybeans, dipping him down to 35% health here. Jeff is just chunking him, but Absterge is going to catch those big heals, and the full Hex comes out from Absterge onto Jeff.
Oh man, Absterge got a Hex. MVP, full trap on the Kappa is actually going to force his bubble immediately. Foxy's still getting destroyed though, and they really need to find a way to reconnect onto Absterge if they want to finish this game. There's the full Fist of Justice. Are they even going to go after him? Seems like Walter is Foxy's primary target at the moment. Walter getting punished hard, down to 41%, leaping right after him with that full bash. Soul Reaper up onto Absterge. He pops the Ascendance. He's trying to recover desperately here. Pops the Ore Master. He should be able to stabilize his team. Jellybeans caught into a full stun with no trinket. He won't be able to deter it. Absterge barely keeping him alive with those healing surges. In the meantime, Kappa sat through a full trap. Foxy should be able to get stabilized here shortly. Pillar of Frost still rolling for Jeff. Has quite a bit of damage still available for about 5 more seconds. Walter getting cloned up though by Foxy. Are they going to go back after Absterge? He gets gripped into that full Fist of Justice. At the same time, Kappa into the full stun. Can Jellybeans land the trap in time? Is he going to go for the sniper trap? He disengages it over. Goes for the binding shot. Misses the binding shot actually from Jellybeans, and Kappa's going to freedom away from the roots and avoid the trap. Full strangulate onto Absterge. He has his trinket. He has one more link remaining. Is he he going to have to use it? Holding on to it. Ballsy move, but Jeff's not able to connect. Good awareness from Absurge. Not overusing the cooldowns, just kiting Jeff. Jellybean's going to trade out the deterrence. He doesn't want Absurge to be forced to heal him right now. Absurge just really trying to top himself off. Slowly running out of mana, though. Full bash over on the Jellybean. Still no trinket available. He cannot deterrence while stunned. Walter looking for a clone here. Cyfoxy caught into that bash. Walter giving up on that clone for now, I guess. But Absurge has recovered. He still has that trinket link. Maybe Splyce can find an opportunity to strike.
There's the full trap on the Keepo. It's going to force the trinket out, man, as Cyfoxy's taking a whole bunch of damage. Walter Bear and Jellybeans want to push it as their Shaman's just running out of mana through all of this pressure. And Absurge is going to pull back, but he's going to get maimed up by Cyfoxy. Cyfoxy now connecting back onto Absurge. Absurge has that trinket link available to him if he does need it. Walter Bear getting cloned up at relatively low health here. Jellybeans landing another full trap onto Kappa, and it looks like he did get Purity out onto, I believe, Jeff, but it's not negating that much damage at all. Cyfoxy still the kill target, it seems. Walter Bear forced to use that wall, and the damage from Donut is just everywhere. Whoever they hit just feels it instantaneously. Cyfoxy catching that hand of sacrifice from Kappa, but Absurge in a lot of trouble. He has that full silence. Jeff's just soloing Absurge, but he's going to pull back to try to land a kill onto Walter Bear as Cyfoxy's taking a whole bunch of damage, and this is anyone's game still, moving even closer and closer to dampening.
Yeah, Absurge has almost no mana remaining. How is he going to deal with this? I don't even think he can look for a drink at this point. Walter's going to get cloned up at low HP, denying Absurge's healing a little bit longer. Jellybean's trying to kite desperately, but there's no momentum. Kappa, though, with no trinket and no buffs remaining, could be in trouble with that incarnation coming out from Walter. This is the last chance for Splyce. Can they take Cyfoxy down? Full trap lands on the Kappa. He has no way to break it. Cyfoxy getting bursted down. Splyce are looking to take game one right here and now. Down at 7%. He tries to restealth, but he can't stay alive. And despite being so far behind on mana, Absurge is a man with a plan. He holds on to that trinket link throughout the entire match against Donut, and they are going to take game number one with that Incarnation Crows combo onto Cyfoxy with nothing left to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, Jellybeans had a rough start in the very beginning of that game, trying to land those traps and whatnot, but by the end of the game, he was getting those traps from fucking, sorry for swearing, but the 3-pointers for sure. Donut losing game number one here in this best of 5 series. And Splyce looking very strong with their jungle composition. Do you think that if Dodo was here, they'd be playing FLS, or is this the composition that they'd be choosing?
I don't think so.
You think they'd be sticking with?
They're more afraid of the Windwalker DK. They're more afraid of the Windwalker DK, and they don't want to play FLS into it.
That's a good point. But here we go. They are going to get to know what composition they're facing preemptively. I wonder if we're going to see a Windwalker DK composition change coming out from Donut.
Maybe. I don't know. Jeff did a lot of damage. I don't know if Jeff really did very much wrong in that match. It just seemed like Cyfoxy wasn't able to connect, which is the problem I thought the Windwalker would have, but it seemed like even on the Feral Druid, Cyfoxy was still having trouble, so maybe they do bring balance on the Windwalker instead. I don't know, I felt like they were, like, I like Jeff bouncing around like that, but I think if Cyfoxy's just getting trained like that and can't connect, he needs to just put more damage onto other targets. Like, when they had the multi-target damage on multiple people, Absurge is zooming so much faster, but there were periods of time where damage just kind of stopped, and Absurge could just pause for a couple seconds and think about life and be like, I should maybe get a Hex now. That sounds good.
That sounds like a plan.
If that moment happens, like, that moment can't happen if you're playing a cleave.
Right.
Against this kind of comp. You don't want Absurge to ever have time to think about life. You want him to be panicked the entire time.
That being said, moving forward into game number 2, Donut's going to have map choice as they lost the first game. Do you think that we're going to see like a Ruins of Lordaeron all in onto Absurge, or do you think that they're going to try to pick a map that's a bit more conservative, looking at their gameplay for game number 1?
I mean, I think they're going to still play jungle, and it's just, it's up to Donut if they feel balance would perform better, even if I think maybe compositionally it might be a bit weaker. Maybe they just decided to change up their strategy a little bit less SM Orc. I mean, his name is Kappa, not SM Orc.
It's a good point, man. It's a good point. Just a shout out to our guild, everybody. We have a very cool and positive guild. If you guys wanted to join it, it's on Alliance Tichondrius, and make sure to whisper Tina Fey to get an invite to the guild.
Wait, Tina Fey's in the guild?
Yeah, we actually have Tina Fey in the guild. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a quick look at that bracket. So, Method Black moving forward in it, and we're currently seeing Splyce versus Donut. Splyce taking game number 1 in this best of 5 series. whoever wins this series is going to face Method Black in the upper bracket. Here we go. Game number 2 has popped. It's Ruins of Orderon. Oh man, Super Tease, we have come to Ruins of Orderon. You know what that means, don't you?
This is the shaman graveyard.
This is
where
the
shaman's gonna die.
You're absolutely right, man. Abster's has got to be feeling the pressure going into game number 2 here as Donut chooses Ruins of Orderon. But if anyone can survive through the onslaught that is Donut, it is the one and only Sturge. Here we go. The gates are about to open. Absterge, it looks like he's going to position himself at the tomb. Oh, he's going straight to the carriage, it seems. Jeff pushing in right away. Going to get stunned up by Walter Bear. And it looks like they're actually not going directly at Absterge just yet. They're hitting a DPS first and chunking down Walter Bear. It's going to force the wall out of Walter Bear. And they're actually going to grip Absterge in, but no stuns just yet. Nothing to follow it up.
Kite with that Windwalk Totem, that grip kind of maybe mistimed. Kappa caught into that Hex, and Fox actually not dispelling it. I'm curious, he used the dispel. I wonder if he dispelled the wrong person. Not able to remove the CC, taking a bunch of pressure now because of it. Kappa forced to pop the Avenging Wrath. We see the incarnation out from Foxy. A little bit of class envy, trying to take Walter down here. He did go down in game number 1, but he's trying to reverse the pressure. Abster's caught now into that full Fist of Justice. Looks like they're going to swap some pressure over onto him now. Donut doing a good job to spread their damage onto 3 targets here. They need to keep this momentum rolling. Absterge has that Ascendance. They cannot afford to let him cast. He gets 1 healing surge off. Will he get another? Riptide after Riptide trying to pick up Jelly Beans now. He's actually getting and that's a little bit too. That's a down goes Jelly Beans moment right there.
Down goes Jelly Beans headshot, and that'll do it. You got to be careful with those deters facing a Feral Druid like that. Even in DK too, those dots are definitely able to kill you, even when you press up the deterrence. But man, that spread pressure coming out from Donut. It's going to take game number 2, but it is on their map choice. That means Splyce has that map choice advantage going into game number 3.
Are you okay?
I burped. I'm sorry, man.
Burp?
Yeah, I was burping, but I was hiding the burp noise.
Just let it out. You just let it out.
I just let it out, man. Dude, it's all that turkey. All that turkey from Christmas dinner yesterday. I hope everyone had a great holidays. Did you have a good holidays? Man. Dude, I love turkey. Oh, you probably didn't celebrate Christmas yesterday, being Canadian and all.
Wait, what? That's racist.
That's racist.
What's to that?
Cringe machine, boys.
Have you ever seen a moose? That thing is big. Like, that is a big thing. You don't want to see a moose in person. Like,
oh, dude, I've seen one. They're terrifying. They're actually so scary. It like towered over my van. It was crazy. I missed that van. That was good times. But here we go, guys. We're going to be jumping into game number 3 of this best of 5 series. It's currently tied 1-1. Donut showing them that they can stick in this series against Splyce, the team that yeah, Splyce is probably one of the best teams in this tournament. I mean, you have like the big mammoths like Cloud9 and stuff like that, but Splyce actually beat Cloud9 in the semifinals of last tournament. So Splyce has definitely proven time and time again that they could be the very best team in North America. Going up against Donut, this Cleve team, and Donut says, we're here to play. We can show you what's what.
It's one of those things where, like, as a shaman, you hate fighting those cleaves, but after a while of just playing over and over and over, you eventually figure out, like, the little things, like wind walking, like Absterge did on that first grip, wind walking it, and he was able to get away from the stun right at the same moment that he got gripped. So, like, just little things to get away from getting stun locked, and you can see that Splyce are really polished on it just from practicing and queuing up over and over. They never give up, man, despite Absterge's salty shaman moments. You know, every healer gets a little bit salty when they get cleaved down, but
of course,
you know, you just keep practicing. Eventually things are going to start falling in line and you'll be able to deal with the pressure, despite still, I think compositionally Donut is a bit advantaged here. Splyce is playing it out really well, and I like that Donut that game just spread their damage out, caught an opportunity with Jelly Beans and bursted him down. So I think as long as Donut aren't committing their damage too much to one person, that they should be able to take this series though.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. I mean, Donut's pressure, they had pressure on everybody, and I don't know, when you're a shaman and your main defensive cooldown is Spirit Link, That's kind of a dampener. I mean, Spirit Link does also offer that damage reduction, that 10% damage reduction, but spreading that health is really that big reset button.
Don't trick people, dude. Don't trick people. I'm sure there's a lot of Wrestler Shamans in the chat. They're like, wait, you can link for 10% damage reduction?
Oh no, don't do it. Don't do it for that reason. All right, here we go. The game is started. Jeff taking a bit of pressure from Splyce right away. I love how Jeff is just a waddling little pony. There's the bash onto Kipo. Nothing to follow it up just yet. It looks like Absurge getting gripped in now from Jeff. Jeff's trying to go ham with that wall onto him as well. He's going to push in.
Grounded the Hodge.
He grounded the Hodge.
He actually grounded the Hodge. Yeah, he prepped grounded twice to get the Hodge up from Kappa, and Abster's going to hold on to a lot of cooldowns because of that. Really well done. We can see Incarnations out for both Feral Druids. Quite a bit of pressure on both sides. Kappa pops the Avenging Wrath. They're swapping over to Absterge. This time, he's not going to be able to ground the incoming CC and caught into that full strangle. He's going to Stone Form Link out of that, immediately trading out the cooldowns 1 for 1. Kappa getting locked on his cast there, I believe, by Walter, so slowing down a bit of Kappa's healing for now. Walter looking for a clone now. Who's that going to be on? It looked like Jeff was trying to Dark Sim it, and Walter did a good job to fake cast that Dark Sim, but Walter's still getting stun locked. Split pressure is crazy right now. Walter down to 36. Jeff just soloing Absurge. Absurge gone to that full fist of justice with no trinket for 5 more seconds. Can they connect to kill? Foxy trying to get over. Denounce line out from Kappa. Absurge dispels the Soul Reaper. He's playing it pretty ballsy right now, holding on to a lot of cooldowns at the moment. Foxy getting pressured as he moves forward. There's the Ascendance out from Absurge. He's finally baited them in to his clutches. Now he should kill the top of the team. Nice clump from Foxy onto Walter, and Jeff is just doing so much damage.
Too much damage. He Aura Mastery Ascendance, and his health didn't move. Now Walter Bear caught into that bash. Denounce is going in on him, and down he goes. Donut taking game number 3 against Splyce on their map choice. Unbelievable. Donut showing him what's what, bringing it back in the series, taking the lead 2-1. Oh my gosh, that damage is just not healable.
That's what I was saying. I think that when the Feral DK just decided to be like, you know, you hit him, I'm going to hit him, you hit him, I'm hitting him, and you get into that moment where you're doing that, and Abster just can't keep track of what's going on. It's just like, please. And then the damage is too much to deal with, so I like that.
Every swing of Jeff's weapons just like chunked down the heal that Absterge did into himself. He's like, Ascendance, Aura Mastery, heal, heal, heal. And like every time the cast bar ended.
He's distracted by his bald head. He was staring at his bald head like, that's a pretty shiny head. He goes for the heal, and then he's not as focused as much, so he doesn't heal as much. See, the transmog game is real.
Dude, must be. Alright guys, we're going to be going into game number 4 of this best of 5 series. Donut potentially just 1 game away of taking the series against Splyce here in round number 1 of this tournament. Let's take a quick look at that bracket. It's Splyce versus Donut. Donut taking a 2-1 lead. And the winner of the series will face Method Black in round 2 of the upper bracket. And the loser of the series will dip down to face Method Orange in the lower bracket. And it looks like we're going to be knocking a Splyce down so far, unless Splyce brings it back up. And Splyce doesn't want to do that, man. They go against one Cleave team and then lose, and then go against another Cleave team in the lower bracket. That is a rough time. Can they bring it back? Here we go. We're about to find out. The next map of this best of 5 series is Tolvaron Arena. Here we go. So it looks like Splyce still sticking with the jungle cleave. Dota might not be available to them. And Donut still sticking with their Feral DK Holy Paladin composition.
Feels cleave, man.
Feels cleave, man.
Alright, let's see if Splyce can keep a level head, deal with the amount of damage that Donut is dishing out, and try and get a counter kill. Maybe their best option is to go cap, but I don't know if that'll work or not, but it seems like their momentum on Jeff and Fox is just really slow. Like in the first game, that was actually a reasonably long game against a cleave comp like this, and they just found an opportunity with all their cooldowns up, and Donut had nothing. But if they can't survive to that point, then they're really not getting a lot of momentum. So I wonder if maybe there's a different strategy they could do. Try and go after Kappa maybe, when Jeff goes in all into Absterge. I think maybe there's a little bit more they could do to peel for him. I don't know. I don't feel like Jeff should be able to get away with running at him like that so much, though. So I'd like to see Jeff kind of get punished a little bit or shut down a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's just sitting right on top of the blue, right? Maybe they can peel him a bit more, maybe get those cheeky cyclones Walter Bear is so famous for. But here we go. Oh, the Ferals actually like touched one another. Oh, and Foxy's actually going to get opened on by Walter Bear first. Put into the DR bash outside of that. Hannah Sacrifice being thrown out by Kappa, trying to avoid some traps from Jelly Beans, it looks like. And it looks like he's going to be A-okay for now. Bash going out onto Jelly Beans from Foxy, trying to prevent even more CC onto Kipo, but it doesn't matter. Full Cyclone is going to land throughout all that. Incarnation coming out from Foxy. No Berserk just yet. He's waiting for that opportunity to get that damage out. Dipping down to 35% health here at this point as Kipo is put through that full trap. He's not going to trinket out of that. Save by the Light is going to proc. In the background, Abster is getting silenced up full as Walter Bear is taking a bunch of pressure, and that's going to force the wall from Walter Bear. But this is Incarnation Berserk. It's going to fade soon. Berserk goes down. Walter Bear's damage is reduced quite a bit, but now Foxy Berserk is up, doing a bit of pressure. Abster is getting gripped in and stunned by Donut, and he's just going to pull back with that Windwalk Totem for now, it would seem. But both these teams have so much damage available to them, just even without their offensive cooldowns. It could go either way at any moment. Trinket coming out from Kipo, getting out of that CC, trying to keep his Feral Druid alive, but like even Kipo is a vulnerable kill target at this point from the spread pressure of Splyce. Foxy catching that Purity, but right before that full cycle and lands on Kipo is going to reduce some of that damage, but the wall is going to be forced as he's dipping down to 35% health here. Full bash is going to force the bubble out from Kipo, but Abster's now being put into a bash, into a DR Hodge. He has that trinket link available to him, and he's going to just use the link, holding onto that trinket throughout all of that CC.
Foxy's still just taking so much damage. Kappa struggling to deal with it. Murder of Crows out from Jelly Beans looking to end this. Foxy gets locked on his clone. Kappa gets locked on his heel into the full trap with no way to break it. How is Foxy going to stay alive? He has no survival instincts left. Now the full stun over onto Kappa. Jelly Beans trying to finish him off. Pew pew. Ka-choo. Foxy still alive. 9%, 7% reconnect. That's going to be it. Splyce are going to tie this up 2-2. I think the map definitely paid it more favorable here. They have much more space to kite. But now the map selection in favor of Donut. Where do they bring it? I mean, Blade's Edge is left and Tiger's... Is Tiger's Peak left? No, I don't think it is.
I don't know what's... Dalaran's still left, dude. I'm pretty sure. Let me go ahead and just check in with our home admin here. Please, Cutter, can you enlighten us on what maps are left for Donut?
Looks like it's Dalaran or Blade's Edge.
Dude, they're going to Dalaran Sewers. There's no way they're not. Whew.
Wait, Dollar Series the only map left? One of the
No,
other
it's
maps?
Blade's Edge or Dalaran.
Jelly versus Donut. Jelly Donut.
Jelly Donut. Alright. So we're going into the final map of this best of 5 series. It's tied 2-2 here in the upper bracket. It is now Donut's map choice. Oh, baby. We're going to find out here what's going up next. Guys, if you are a fan of either of these players, if you're a fan of Splyce, if you're a fan of a specific player, make sure that you are giving them all of your energy. And I'd like to just take a quick shout out to say God bless you to Hannah for sneezing.
You can really tell Abster does not want to lose and fall down to another Cleave matchup. He wants to stay in the winner's bracket.
Of course, man.
Mind you, if Dota isn't here, like... Jungle is suicide in the Moonkin Mage, I think. Maybe not. I don't know. That's a weird match. It's one of the
Moonkin
weird
Mage, you mean
matchups
FLS, right?
Well, if Joda isn't here, they can't play FLS, so it could be hard for them as well.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Alright guys, while we wait for these teams to choose what map they want and to strategize what it is that they're going to be doing, I just want to give a quick shout out to the new homies of the channel. 4745830. Subscribe to us actually while we were offline, I believe, so thank you so much for that sub, man. Really appreciate it. The mod dream. Halak also subscribe. Thank you so much. Dude, Toki99. I hope your dog comes back, man. I was talking to you in whispers. I hope everything's alright with you, but thank you for that sub, man. I really appreciate it. Welcome to the team, brother. And Shadow Sylvia also subscribed. So thank you guys for all of those new subscriptions. When we hit 200 subscribers, we will be having that 1v1 tournament for you all. But here we go. We're going to be jumping into the final game of this best of 5 series, and you guessed it, everybody. It's Dalaran Sewers. Welcome everybody to Dalaran Sewers. It's Splyce versus Donut, game number 5 in this crazy explosive series. Gotta love games like this. And Walter Bear, Jelly Beans, and Absturge, they gotta be feeling a little worried bringing it to such a small map like this in the final match point game. But I mean, there is a pillar. There is a pillar and there's a shaman. When there's a pillar, there's a shaman. Always available, right?
Yeah, this is a tiny pillar. I mean,
it is an itty bitty pillar.
It's gonna be enough. You can see Jelly Beans taking the center field at the moment. Jeff, Terminator style, running in at Absturge here currently. Absturge playing far back from Kappa is going to be looking to try and ground Hodges potentially from him. We can see a bash landed onto Kappa. Is Jelly Beans going to land the trap out is the question. He's looking for that binding shot, now looking for the trap out of that. He's still holding on to it, playing it patiently. Absturge gets gripped into that full fist of justice. A lot of punishment following it up from Donut here onto Absturge. Now caught in that full strangulate. Spirit Link gets dropped with that stone form combination to break up the crowd control. Now all 3 players are spliced down at half HP. Absturge in recovery mode to try and deal with this pressure. Dark Sim over onto Walter. I believe Walter actually faked it potentially, so Jeff is not going to be able to steal the clone. Jellybean getting swapped over. Cyfox is doing a lot of damage with the Incarnation right now. Walter in a bit of trouble now, trying to reverse the pressure with an Incarnation of his own. Kappa's going to pop that immediately. Jeff going in for the kill onto Absturge. Walter gets cloned up at low HP. Walter's forced to trinket out. Absturge gets that Aura Mastery heal off. He's trying to top his team. Cyfox is doing a great job to deny healing though. Absturge got into that full fist of justice, has the trinket link available. He's trying to hold on to it. Down to 18% trinket links. Only one person's in it, barely surviving, clinging on to dear life with the Battle Master up. But everybody is just dying on the team of Splyce. Jellybean's getting stun locked. He's got one more deterrence remaining. He's trying to save it. Absturge casting healing surges, trying to pick his team back up here and deal with the momentum. Walter gets gripped in. They're trying to finish him off down at 10% HP into the full bash. Absturge is still somehow keeping him alive, spamming out those heals. Jellybeans holds on to his deterrence. There's the full strangulate over on the Absturge. Jellybeans can't trade up the deterrence right away for that. Kappa moving in for the Hodge. Unfortunately, a main actually used on Absturge instead. Now caught into the half Hodge. Walter could be in a bit of trouble here, but Donut still has so much momentum.
Oh my god, how are they alive right now? Jellybeans without a single deter is going to get gripped back and maimed. Absturge catching those crazy big heals. Full trap's going to land on Akipo through all of that. And Cyfoxy is taking a bit of pressure. Crows are landing onto him. Cyclone goes out onto Walter Bear defensively at this point. Saber the Light procking onto Cyfoxy. Is Splyce turning this game around? Kipo going to go ahead and use those wings to keep his team offensive. Main goes out onto Cyfoxy from Walter Bear, keeping him controlled as best he possibly can. Hodge goes out onto Absturge. It looks like Jeff can't connect to him just yet though, getting rooted up by Walter Bear. Walter Bear is the kill target for now, it would seem. Bash goes out into Jellybeans and Donut has the damage. They are controlling the team for now, but Splyce is still somehow alive. Jeff just chasing Absturge around the map non-stop. This poor blue, he's gonna get stunned up really low. The Hex is gonna get AMS by Jeff though. Silence goes out onto him. He's just gonna stone form out of it right away, keeping himself alive. How is Absturge still alive? He's gonna try to get these Hex. He's trying to juke desperately to stay alive through all this. He has no buttons left available to him at 30% health here. Jellybean's trying to also root up Jeff. He's gonna get the full root on Jeff, and Absturge is gonna catch a free heal for himself. Now Walter Bear getting hodged up at very low health here. Absturge out of line of sight. He's gonna get reconnected by Cyfoxy, but he gets knocked by Jellybeans. Splyce doing some crazy plays to stay alive.
Yeah, the kiting is crazy from Splyce. How much longer can they keep it up? They need to eventually turn this momentum around. Cyfoxy still has 2 survival instincts charges. Kappa has his bubble and his trinket. It's looking so good for Donut. Absturge, despite living in darkness throughout this entire game, it's not going to end anytime soon. Kappa caught into that full stun, actually baiting the shield wall. Now caught into the full trap. Absturge still in a bit of trouble down at 44% HP. He fake casts the skull bash. He still
5 seconds and trinket link, man.
Pops the Aura Mastery. Cyfoxy in a bit of trouble in a counter kill, potentially down at 40%. There's the Incarnation out from Cyfoxy. There's the Pillar of Frost, and Donut are looking to take the game with those cooldowns. Absturge sees it. He drops the link, but Jellybeans isn't inside. Absturge still in a lot of trouble. Battle Mastery down at 8% mana, clinging onto life. He doesn't want to give up for his team. Full Strangulate, nothing left, and Absturge goes down, and Donut takes the series 3-2. And you can see the difference the maps provide to both of the teams. Just nowhere to run and nowhere to hide, and Donut are going to advance.
Oh my gosh, how does that even happen? That was so much damage out from Donut, and Splyce just doing some crazy plays to stay alive, but the consistent pressure on a map like Dalaran Sewers seems like it's going to give Donut just enough of the edge to be able to take game number 5 of this best of 5 series, and you got to give Splyce credit where credit is due. They played so well, and they are not out of it just yet. They are going to dip into that lower bracket and continue to fight their way through this tournament. Unbelievable gameplay coming out from these players. I have to say, it's just so much damage, so much skill. And let's take a look at that bracket now. Method Black going up against Donut here in round 2 as Donut locks in their position moving forward in that upper bracket, and Splyce is going to dip low.